My white satin shoes clicked on the marble floor as I made my way down the grand staircase. I smoothed my white rose-adorned wedding gown, my reflection staring back, beautiful and soon to be. Tonight was my wedding, the culmination of years of planning. Every detail had been orchestrated to perfection. White roses lined the aisle. My family sat in neat rows, their faces beaming with pride and anticipation, and my friends, they were gossiping excitedly, nudging each other with knowing smiles. At the bottom of the stairs, I paused, my hands trembling slightly. I took a deep breath, savoring the moment. Today was supposed to be the happiest day of my life. Then I heard it, a loud click, the sound of a camera shutter. I whirled around, my eyes searching. There, perched atop a grand piano in the corner of the room, was a camera with its flash still glowing faintly. I froze, my heart skipping a beat. I knew that camera. It was Leah's. My maid of honor. What was she doing here? Panic surged through me, cold and clammy. I called out to her, my voice echoing in the vast hall. Leah, what are you doing? Why did you bring the camera? Silence. No answer. Where was she? My wedding day, the day I was supposed to marry my beloved fiancé, I found myself enveloped in dread. As I stood waiting at the altar, the whispers started. They grew louder, swirling around me like a vortex. Where's Leah? What happened to her? Did she stand us up? The ticking of the antique grandfather clock chimed loudly, each tick pounding in my ears like a drumbeat of doom. Las 2:05, las 2:10. Each minute stretched, becoming an eternity. My hands clenched into fists, my nails digging into my palms, my vision blurred. Had I imagined the entire thing? Had Leah really left me standing at the altar? Suddenly, a familiar figure rushed in, breathless and pale-faced. My heart leaped. Was that Leah? But it wasn't. It was her maid of honor. She's gone, the maid of honor whispered, her voice trembling. She ran away. She ran away with someone else. Gasps rippled through the crowd. My entire world seemed to crumble. I stumbled back, my legs weak, my ears ringing. Tears welled up, blurring my vision. My carefully constructed world, my hopes, my dreams, they all collapsed, leaving me in a heap of shattered expectations. I couldn't believe it. Why? Why would Leah do this to me? I fled from the church, tears streaming down my face, my veil trailing behind me like a shroud. The rain fell in torrents, soaking through my dress, mingling with my tears. I didn't care. I walked aimlessly, my mind numb, replaying the scene of the deserted altar over and over, humiliated, discarded, abandoned. Those words echoed in my mind, twisting like knives. I wanted to disappear. Then I saw it, a sleek black car pulling up beside me. The window rolled down and a familiar face appeared. Cassandra Drake, the formidable CEO of Drake Enterprises. She was my father's business rival, a woman whose name struck fear into the hearts of many. But today, there was a different look on her face, a look that was unreadable, almost unsettling. Cassandra, I whispered, my voice hoarse from crying. What are you doing here? She hesitated for a moment, then extended her hand. Get in, she said simply. I stared at her hand, torn. What did she want from me? What could she possibly offer me in my state of despair? But as I looked into her fathomless eyes, I saw something that made me take her hand. It wasn't pity. Maybe it was understanding. Maybe it was a kindred spirit recognizing another lost soul. Whatever it was, it drew me in. The car was long and luxurious, and the rain gradually faded away, replaced by the hum of the engine and the soft glow of the interior lights. "Cassandra," I began, my voice catching. I don't understand." She turned to me, her expression unreadable. "I saw what happened. I followed you here." She paused. "I know how it feels to have someone you trusted betray you." Her words hung in the air, heavy with unspoken emotion. I looked at her, surprised by her candor. Here was a woman who commanded respect and power, and she was sharing her vulnerabilities with me, a complete stranger. We arrived at a towering, high-rise building. I recognized it instantly. It was Cassandra Drake's penthouse. The building was synonymous with power and wealth, just like its owner. And suddenly, I understood. Cassandra must have seen the entire debacle at the church. She witnessed my humiliation, my despair, and now she was offering me sanctuary, perhaps even solace. As I entered the elevator, a chill ran down my spine. The stark, minimalist decor, the polished steel surfaces, it all screamed wealth and power. But it also radiated a chilling coldness. Would I be out of place here? Would I ever fit into this world of corporate ladder climbing and cutthroat deals? When the elevator doors opened, I was met with a sight that took my breath away. The penthouse was massive, bathed in light with floor-to-ceiling windows offering a panoramic view of the city. But what truly captivated me were the bookshelves lining one wall. They were filled with books, hundreds of them, spanning various genres and topics. It was a bibliophile paradise. Cassandra gestured towards a sofa. "Sit down," she said, her voice echoing in the cavernous space. "Tell me what happened." I did as she said, sinking into the plush cushions. The silence stretched, punctuated only by the rhythmic hum of the city below. Finally, I began to speak, my voice shaky at first, then gaining strength. I told her everything, the planning, the excitement, the betrayal, the despair. As I spoke, the dam broke. Tears streamed down my face, releasing the tension that had been building within me. When I finished, Cassandra remained silent for a moment. I looked up at her, my heart pounding. What would she say? Would she mock me for my tears, for my vulnerability? Then she did something that surprised me. She stood up and walked towards me. "I don't need your pity," I blurted out, my voice cracking. She stopped in front of me, her eyes searching mine. "It isn't pity," she said quietly. "It's something else." In the days that followed, I learned more about Cassandra than anyone else ever had. She was complex, driven, passionate. Beneath her cold, calculating exterior beat a heart that had known both great joy and profound sorrow. We talked for hours, delving into our favorite books, sharing our dreams and fears. I discovered a kindred spirit in her, a fellow lover of classic literature, a shared passion for justice, and slowly, hesitantly, trust began to blossom between us. One rainy afternoon, as we sipped hot chocolate by the fire, I admitted I never thought I'd be spending my days like this, reading, eating chocolate cake, having someone to talk to. Cassandra smiled, a rare and beautiful sight. Life has a way of surprising us, she said. Sometimes what we think is a tragedy can lead to unexpected happiness. But amidst this newfound companionship, the specter of Leia still loomed. The wound was fresh, the pain raw. Yet with each passing day, I felt myself healing, not because I wished ill will upon her, but because I realized that Leah's actions reflected more on her own insecurities than on my worth. Months passed. My world, once shattered, was now pieced together. Not as before, but in a way that was stronger, more resilient. I thrived in the penthouse. The solitude I'd feared became a haven. The bookshelves, once a symbol of Cassandra's loneliness, now stood witness to our growing bond. Then one evening, as the city twinkled beneath us, Cassandra turned to me, her eyes searching mine. "Do you still hate me?" she asked softly. Startled, I shook my head. "Why would I hate you? You saved me." Her lips curved into a hesitant smile. "And I suppose," she added, "I saved myself by sharing my world with someone who understood me." Suddenly, Leia reappeared, claiming to be lost and seeking directions. When she laid eyes on me, however, her tone turned sharp. "I see you're doing well," she sneered, glancing at Cassandra. "Too well?" I ignored her, focusing on Cassandra, who stood beside me, her hand resting lightly on my arm. The contact sent shivers down my spine. In that moment, I knew I had found my home. Years rolled by. Cassandra and I built a life together, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the power of love to heal. Our marriage, initially a pact of convenience, evolves into something profound, a bond of shared laughter, quiet understanding, and unwavering support. As we stood hand in hand, overlooking our sprawling city, I knew I had found my happily ever after. Not in the fairy tale ending I'd once imagined, but in the real, raw, beautiful messiness of life with Cassandra by my side.